Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Playing City Skyline with a City Planner. Um, we are back to the city of Bluffside Crossing, a beautiful city with a population of roughly 3,500 on the side of a bluff that rests above a river, a couple river crossings, and it's at the at where two interstates meet. So where we last left off, we had established the basic grid for our city, and we have our utilities figured out. So I'm going to start the simulation. And we're in a good spot right now. We have an elementary school, a police station, a fire station, a nice main street. It's a very nice little community. We have two routes that we could take right now. We could decide, boy, I am going to proceed as is and just continue to grow, or I'm going to work with what we have and try to get some of these buildings to level up, make it a nicer community to be in, make sure that we don't have traffic problems. And I think that what we want to do is look at traffic and look at ways that we can improve our community first before we start growing more. I think we're going to zone these areas and get the city moving in the direction that's already been. This has kind of been platted. Platting is a technical term for laying out land. It's a land division, so this would be similar to having already platted the lands. So because we've already done that, might as well get it zoned. Generally, that happens at the same time. People don't want to divide their land and have amorphous use in the future. They want to know what's allowed there. We will leave areas for commercial activity within the neighborhoods. Considering that we don't really have a main street going down here, we'll continue Main Street all the way down, and maybe we'll call it that. Not Campbell Avenue, Main Street. There we go. So we've got Main Street, and we've got these houses without power, and they'll get soon enough. Got water there. Okay. All right, busy town. So we're getting some policies, some buildings, some nicer streets, and some of the workshop content that I've added. Some larger, denser buildings, and some of the DLC content that I've got. So right off the bat, I'm going to continue the simulation going quickly. This is our main street, so let's have some pride. We're going to make this a very attractive street. Make it a place that people want to be. But look at all of that pedestrian activity. And it's pedestrians that are walking to get to the industrial area right over here. People walking to get to businesses. And if you're coming from over here at this house, that's a long walk. So let's take a look. Yeah, look at that. That is a lengthy trip. And it's probably one you're only making in a car. So let's see if we can improve that. So, I apologize, bear with me. It's been a little while since I played. I would like to make sure that we have pedestrian routes to get to different places in the community. Hmm. That did not work out as I intended. Okay, so maybe that's the best we can do, unfortunately. So now we're at least providing options. So let's make this interesting. Now, one of the reasons I really enjoy having DLC is that I can do things like this with trees. And then maybe I could throw something interesting, maybe a rock feature. Just to provide some visual interest. So that's one of the things that planners like to think about on a pedestrian route in particular. Is one of the things that you could do to encourage walking is to give people something to look at, and so I'm going to try to do that a little bit. Obviously, not beautiful. I can do better. I am disappointed in myself. I'm not a landscape architect. Another interesting career path, but not the one that I chose. Okay, so we at least have some opportunities for increased pedestrian behavior, or pedestrian activity, not behavior. That sounds weird. All right, so got this going. I think I want to look at policies. So I'm a planner. I think that everyone should walk and bike places. So I am going to encourage that. Let's encourage biking. This is also another policy. So ground pollution is really devastating early on in the game as well. It's devastating in real life. Remediating industrial waste, whether it's a gas station that has leaked from its pumps or a service center that has had cars drip oil. It is incredibly expensive to remediate soil contamination. I want to avoid that right off the bat by forcing them to not allow this to happen. So in real life, if you had soils like this, your Department of Natural Resources would come in, test the soil, and likely come up with a remediation plan. And that plan would include taking all of this soil and digging it up, trucking it out, burying it, capping this land, putting new soils in, and allowing only certain uses to go in place there that wouldn't contaminate. So it's a process. So like I said, I want to keep this as real as I can. And part of that is going to be to avoid soil contamination as much as possible.
You kind of just have to accept some. That's the nature of industrial uses, unless they are, software or something like that. So now we finally have our transportation options, and there are a couple interesting things that we can think about here right off the bat that we should be thinking about early, and that is, how are we connecting our freight to other communities, and how are we making other connections to other communities? Unfortunately, 8,000 people for a train, we do have enough for a bus. There's a significant investment in that to get that there. One thing we do need is a post office. Every small city in America, basically, is a post office, and we should be no different. It's great. I really, really think that Paradox does a great job. Look at this building. It feels like a post office, and I love that. Glad we were able to put that into place. Got that there. Let's walk to it. It's on our east-west road. We've got a really bustling community here and a lot of money. Holy cow. Maybe I'll slow this down a little bit. So let's see where we have deficiencies. So our elementary school capacity is over capacity. So let's serve the other side of the community. We have no high school. So let's get this relatively centrally located so we can serve both sides of town. Probably want to start thinking about a library. We're going to want that to be close, again, to the schools and the main street. Probably a little too soon to start thinking about universities. But it's certainly not too soon to start thinking about elderly care. So I'm going to turn this into a park shortly. So I think it would be great elderly people to be able to walk to the park. Same with children. So I have 2 kids, and at one point in time, my kids were at a daycare. They were able to walk to the capital in our state, which is Wisconsin. And it was a really nice experience for them because of the location of the daycare. So let's do the same here with this daycare near a destination. So now we've got our healthcare figured out. Let's see. You know, it could use some work. Death care, fine. Child care, good. Elder care, it's good enough for now. Not great. We'll work on that park shortly. One thing I mentioned earlier is that I thought it would be really important to find a pedestrian path down the hill from this neighborhood up here. So let's see if we can accomplish that. Now, unfortunately, we're probably going to have to go through this building. And I'm doing only bikes are allowed. Let's do a pedestrian path. So I like to provide myself a little more flexibility when I'm planning for these. I don't think anyone loves a grid path for cycling or walking. So let's make it a little bit more interesting than that. Alright, so we've got a nice connection down. It's not too steep. Well, I wouldn't want to necessarily be in a wheelchair right here, but using our lovely mods, let's see if we can fix this at all. Good enough. And look at that, people are already using it. So I'd like to jazz this up a little bit more. So I don't want to use palm trees. This is a temperate map, so that would be weird. How's this tree look? Oh, that's nice. So let's some trees along this path. Everyone loves this shaded path. Go in reverse as well. Shoot. So I am a little bit of a perfectionist, so some of this, you'll see me kind of go back and not love what happened, maybe fix it. That's part of the reason why. Okay, well, why don't I do oh yeah, that tree's part of that home. That's okay. Now we've got this nice tree-lined path up from our neighborhood down to this other neighborhood and the industrial area. And we've got people using it, so that's nice. Now that we have highways, I'm going to upgrade these, and I'm going to use my mod to fix the lanes. I know that some people do not like this, but the reality is this probably should be in the base game. That's okay that it's not. I think that Paradox has done an excellent job with the game. That they made it so easy to mod. I can forgive them like that. Okay. So, still making improvements. So I find this part of the game to be incredibly gratifying because what this is doing is giving this a sense of place and not just making it a place you want to go through, a place you want to actually stop and enjoy. So this is, I spent a lot of time in the so let's see how we're doing. Oh, everyone's happy except for these people over here. Part of that is because we have not provided them park. I said I was going to provide them. So let's do that. We need to start out first painting a park area. Okay. There's our park area, Lake Park. I love it. Let's have the entrance right over here off Briarwood. Secondary entrance off Carroll and Elizabeth. Oh. Side gate, not a small main gate. Okay, and then we want to start putting our fence up. Unfortunately, we're going to need to get rid of wood to do that. Okay. I don't even like the angle of this. It's just kind of one of those tricky things, being able to line this all up. If I can't get it right, I'll probably just mod. Okay, let's see. All right, got it. Good enough. I think that looks nice. Okay. Straight section there. And let's make that final connection. So there is our park area. How do we make this an interesting park? Well, I love trees. So I think we're going to make sure all of our paths have trees. Give people a nice perimeter. So I do a lot of bike and ped planning. And one of the things the advocates always express to me is the desire to have multiple loop options for recreational routes so that they are able to give people with different ability levels options. So I want to do that too as well. Area over here. The park amenities. So this is a plaza. Be a nice amenity right in the middle. Cafe. Have that near the main gate. Same thing with the restroom. And obviously, you want to have the info booth near the beginning as well. Now we're on to the other bits of this. I think I want to clear out all of the existing trees, which might seem weird, but just bear with me. I want, because this is a park area, to really provide a sense of control with the landscaping, demonstrate a sense of order. I think that sense of order is what makes some parks really special, because that order can be used to simulate, interestingly enough, seclusion. So you kind of have that here now. Oh, let's pause this, finish this up, and then I see that we have a garbage problem we're going to need to remedy. Maybe it's time that we opt for a more mature garbage and refuse collection system. So I really love that we have this exterior perimeter tree line. I think we're going to need to do more in there, but I do think that right now I want to remedy some of these trash collection issues. Now, one of the mistakes I see a lot of beginner players making is that they will take 100% of their garbage collection and place it in the exact same area. And What that does is you have all of these garbage trucks loading onto a substandard roadway network next to each other. And that's just not a very efficient way of managing that sort of traffic. So I'm going to separate these. So this has 15 garbage trucks a week. I'm going to put it on this road for the time being to make sure that we're separate from the other facility. And hopefully the proximity to where the garbage is actually accumulating will make this a much more efficient process. All right, so we've got that. Let's get back to our park. Okay, how's our park doing? Very good. Now, I want this park to do well, so I'm going to lower the ticket price. And we need to start thinking about maintaining the park and how we're going to do that. Now, this is a really large building and doesn't really fit in with the character of a residential area. So while I'm concentrating all of my facilities down here, might as well move this one as well. Hopefully, because this is on an arterial with very few intersections, in the future this will be convenient for other park facilities as well, to be able to serve them. Maybe we want a little bit more of a decorative tree. So let's see. I like that. Alright, so we put a decorative tree along the route, the main gate. There as well. I never claimed to be a parks planner, so don't hold the design of this against me. Just trying to keep it interesting. I do work with the parks planners. They are really a talented group of people. Parks and Rec is an amazing department. And then let's sprinkle some other trees within the park. Do this a little bit more randomly to give it that sense of being a little more natural. I would definitely go here, hang out on a park bench, read a book, meet up with some friends. I'd say that I'd go for a run, but I'm not a runner. That said, my wife is, and I feel like maybe she would even enjoy this. Okay, it's called Lake Park. That is crazy. How about Bluffside Park? All right. That is one heck of an amenity for the city. So we're still having garbage issues. I think one of the primary reasons for that is that this, it's not doing anything because it's full. That is no good. And this is full. Garbage. All right. Well, I am very reluctant to add another dump site. Just aren't a lot of good options. So I think what I'm going to do is add another recycling center and then start emptying this one and get rid of that landfill. Like I said, I'm not a fan of landfills. They're a waste of space. You can't move them. They are just what they are. Unfortunately, that means that I'm probably going to create more garbage problems in the short term. But we'll have to deal with that. Meantime, I guess these folks can deal with their garbage and their park. If they want to escape the trash nightmare that I've created, they can get the park. No garbage problems anymore. Let's see, I think we can probably upgrade our park. Anything else? Oh, look at that big chessboard. And so I want to put that again in this main area if at all possible. At the same time, already got a nice park established. Not looking to destroy it. So if I can't put it in, I can't put it in. Ooh. There we go. Got it. And knowing that these other things aren't going in this park, that makes it all the more important to get that chessboard in. Oh, what a great park. All right. Wow. What a big garbage problem. That is unfortunate. Everyone has trash. And the reality is we are going to have garbage issues that lead to fire issues. So let's stop and pause this landfill emptying for the time being because we have some bigger issues. Like the reality that our garbage processing is not going well. Sim a little bit, maybe this will help. Not feeling great. Also not willing to simply give up just yet and build another recycling center. So I find that the most compelling way to continue to make the problem worse is to expand a little bit more. So why don't we do that in the meantime? Continue our expansion around the park. I really like this grid that we've established. It's really interesting. I think it works well. Want a dirty grid. try to avoid that. Eesh. Eesh. Even more. Don't love that. It's okay. That's the problem with getting creative, is that you end up with these weird spots. So this is something that in my office we talk about routinely, which is we often will have developers come in and want to do some creative things with land divisions. And it can be really problematic because you end up creating parcels that just like don't work to do things with. It's really a challenge when you have irregular parcels to actually develop them. So we try to avoid this particular situation if at all possible, because you end up with irregular lots that can't be developed to their highest and best use. So unfortunately, that's kind of where we're at with this. So we will live with it. We're not just going to live with it, we're going to double down on it. So let's have our main drag continue. Oh, I don't like that at all. Have our main drag continue down that way. It will be a lovely situation that you will think I had always planned for. And we have managed to make the grid work. Not perfect, but it's pretty darn close. That looks legit. All right. We have no idea how long it'll actually be until we expand out. I'm just going to temporarily loop this road back around. Then connect up utilities. So they're all connected up in that part of the community. And now we will zone. Ooh, see some ugliness here. Let's fix this. This is one of the pitfalls of continually modifying what you're doing, is that you're going to find areas that are inconsistent with what you were doing now because you've changed directions. That's okay though. Okay. All right. Well, I think that we've done a good job of checking out our needs for our community. We still don't have any individual parks, and we want to make sure that there's enough park space for every resident. Maybe that's a next video sort of topic. We do have a library now. We do have schools. We do have a city park. We have pedestrian paths and ways to get to some of the more far-flung areas. And as we wait, looks like our garbage issue is resolving itself now that we have enough facilities. So even though there are issues, it's getting better with time. So I think that this is where we'll end it for today. So thank you so much for joining me. Again, you are watching a city planner play City Skylines, and I look forward to joining you in the next one, where we will continue to build out Bluffside Crossing. Thank you so much. Please like the video if you enjoy this content. Subscribe if you want to see me do this more. Hit that notification bell if you want to be notified as soon as I release more videos just like this. Thank you so much. Take care. Goodbye.